Welcome. Today I want to discuss the topic of help. My sensor is not responding to rain. Is it working or not responding to irrigation? We can promise you it's working, but I want to show a little phenomenon so you can understand why in some cases, particularly when soils are dried out, sometimes the response to rain is low because either the rain or the irrigation doesn't reach the deeper layers of the soil, or because the soil has become hydrophobic and therefore water stays at the surface of the soil and evaporates in the air again. I'm going to show a short movie just so you can kind of see this phenomenon in action. So we have three different soils here: a wet soil, a normal summer, and after a heat wave, so when the soil is really dry. And what you can actually see in this movie is that the soil that actually needs the moisture the most is the least responsive to rain or irrigation. So you see the cup here, after the heat wave, this dried out soil, you see that the water is almost not absorbed in the soil. And we actually see this happening in the field sometimes. The water or rain or irrigation ends in the soil, but it doesn't get absorbed by the soil because it's too dry. So let me show you an example of a farmer that actually encountered this situation and called us and said, hey, my sensor is not responding to rain. So usually what you see is that when it will respond to rain is actually when the soil is already a bit more wet, there's more water in the pores, and therefore it is possible to absorb the water in the pores much better. So here you see a period where it's been quite dry. You can see the soil moisture going down, 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 down. It's around 25 degrees here, 28 degrees. It's quite warm, especially for Dutch standards. And you see that here it has rained 0.5 millimeters, so it's not much. Here 5.5 millimeter, yet no response. The lines stay relatively horizontal. Then 2 millimeter of rain. Then 4, you would expect a response. Still no response, it's still too dry. 3.5, and then bam, he's irrigated, the soil moisture goes up. This effect would not have been seen if here and here the pores wouldn't have already filled with water. So long story short, if there is water reaching the points where the sensor measures, the water content will shoot up, hence the sensor will measure it. If it's quite dry already, there's a big chance that either the topsoil is dried out and it will absorb the moisture, it will never reach the 15 and 30 centimeters, or it's even become hydrophobic and it needs a few times of either rainfall or irrigation for the soil moisture to go up. I hope that explains.